Hello, this is Nellie Deutsch, and I'm getting ready for the live session, the first webinar of Teaching Online, Facilitating Online Learning, a mega course on WizIQ with over 800, getting close to 900 participants. This class will begin in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, here we go. Hello! Hello everyone and welcome. Welcome to today's session. Just let me know in the chat box where you're from and I'll know that you can hear me. This is Nellie Deutsch and I'll be moderating this session. Great. Hi Virginia. Just let me know in the chat box where you're from and anything else you'd like to add. I see some very, very familiar faces, names, I should say, not faces. And we'll get started. Okay, great. All right, we'll see how many people actually come into class. I think over 700 enrolled in the class, but that's fine. They can get the recordings later on. Ludmilla, if you're here, if you could raise your hand and I'll get the tools over to you. And Default, if you're here, and Judy. Okay, just raise your hands and I'll be able to... anyone else who'd like to speak? I'm not sure whether we'll be able to, maybe at the end. But feel free to ask questions as we go. Just a reminder, the chat box can be copied. Just give me a thumbs up if you can see the copy chat, because what you can do with all the information, and there's a lot of information generally in the chat box, is to copy it at the end of the session and then paste it for, very good, glad you can see that, for future reference. So remind each other as we go. I'll try to remember at the end to remind you to copy the chat and then paste it anywhere for future reference. All right, so this is Teaching Online, Facilitating Online Learning. And Teaching Online is actually what the course is about, or I would rather call it a workshop and not a course, which is why it's not a MOOC. Okay, so it's out of the MOOC league because it's not really a course. It may be massive, it may be open, but it is a workshop. Okay, you'll be doing a lot of work. And as I mentioned last week, it's not about content, it's about what you are going to do with the content, which is a little bit different. I think it comes in well after Kurt Bunk, Dr. Kurt Bunk. And his MOOC, because he provides a lot of information and you can use, in fact I encourage you to use the information from Bunk's MOOC for this course. It'll help a great deal. Okay, so I see you're getting acquainted with each other in the chat box, which is perfect. So when I say teaching online, I mean learning how to teach students to teach online. In other words, you'll be finding ways to facilitate learning through teaching. Okay, so it's, thank you Default, it's all about teaching. Okay, helping our students learn to teach. So actually we're teacher trainers in this course. I'll try to hi Nancy, I'll try to keep up with the chat. I'm not sure that I'll be able to, but I'll do my best. Okay, those of you who are interested, Kurt's book is excellent. I keep it in the back here for, so I can, okay, so I can show you. Here's this book. It's an excellent book. The world is indeed open. It's as open as you want it to be. And I hope that we'll open it even more with this course. I've got the last slide up. Let me go to the beginning. Okay, before we get started, let me introduce the co-facilitators. This course, of course, is not, you know, a one-man show, so to speak. The course is facilitated by Judy, Ludmilla, Nelly, and Diefeld, and I believe I saw everyone, and they're here today. The idea is to try to support you as much as possible, and hopefully that will make it easier for everyone. Those of you who haven't seen the syllabus for the course, I suggest you take a look at it. It'll help you stay focused. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Not a one. Okay, thank you, Len. That's true. It's not a one-woman show. That's right. Okay. And by the way, if anyone feels like joining the facilitating team, you're welcome. Okay, so everyone is welcome to join and help out because it's about us and what we do. Okay, the success of any kind of learning is what we do together. Okay, it's not teacher, student, it's everyone involved. So anyone who'd like to join the team is very welcome. You don't need to get permission. Okay, so that's about it. Okay, are there any questions before we get started? Okay, any questions? Something that's you know, at the tip of your tongue, and you'd really like an answer. I know this is usually done at the end, but then I'm not a very conventional person. So okay. How does one join the team to teach? You just sent an email. You can, there's a support form on the Moodle where you can ask questions. And yes, Diefeld is right. You can contact us through the Moodle. Any other questions? Feel free to ask them, and then we'll get started. By the way, asking questions is very important in how I approach my teaching and learning. I ask a lot of questions. See, another one, I'm a little confused. How do you access the Moodle? Okay, Diefeld, or could one of you add the link? I'm going to try to screen share the areas. Thank you, Nancy. But specifically to the course. And will the videos be recorded? Yes, everything's recorded. Right now I'm recording this. Let me get rid of something here. I'm recording this through Camtasia. It'll appear, I'll upload it to Vimeo. So you'll get a chance to see this on Vimeo as well. And through WizIQ, all the webinars are recorded. Okay, any other questions? All right, so feel free, feel free to ask questions. We'll try to answer as we go. All right, so let me start with screen sharing. I'll take you to, remember, thank you, Nancy. That was very helpful. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to screen share, take you to the areas, and also add the links so that you can have them in the chat. See, in the recordings, you can't really, you can't copy the chat. That's one of the advantages of joining a live class, is that you can get the links. Now, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to share, screen share. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so while I'm waiting for the screen sharing, can someone add, well, I can do it actually. While I'm waiting for the screen sharing, I'll get the link to the syllabus. The syllabus is available to everyone. You don't need to have a Gmail account. You can just go in. Okay, here's the link. Okay, and you've got all the information there. I think that will be very helpful. You have all the places that you can join, and I'll talk about that in a minute. There's the Moodle, of course. Okay, you can join the Moodle if you want a certificate. If you join the other ones, you won't get a certificate unless you join all three. Okay, so there's the Moodle for the certificate. You can also join a Ning, which is called Connecting Online, but it doesn't have a certificate. And there's also Mahara. Okay, so you can join all three or just one if you want a certificate, then just the Moodle, because that's where we have a tracking system. So someone's finding relatives, that would be great. Imagine if you found someone that you didn't know. How much? No, it doesn't cost anything, Len. This is completely free, and the certificates are also free. I don't know why you thought that we would charge for that. No, it's completely free, everything. The requirements for the certificate are that you do everything. In other words, you participate in the discussions on the Moodle. You do the assignments on the Moodle. You create the artifacts and share them on the Moodle. In other words, everything can be tracked through the Moodle, so that's the only reason. Yes, you can get the Moodle link from, unless you don't get, you know what, maybe there are countries that don't get Google. That could be a problem. I don't know about that. Okay, does anyone not get Google here? I know there's some countries have banned. I think China doesn't get Google, so no Google Docs. Okay, so I've tried the screen sharing. I think that I'm going to give up. Okay, I can't screen share. You know what, Ludmilla, maybe you'll be able to screen share through your system because I'm using a Mac and maybe Macs just don't like Flash and Adobe. Okay, so we'll do that. Okay, so Ludmilla, I'll give you the mic and the tools in a minute. Okay, so week one, basically, just for a little bit of information, is online teaching and enabling attitudes to learning. Week two is setting goals and learning outcomes. Week three is active learning and developing artifacts. I try to make it simple. I know a lot of these courses get very complicated. So, and I've taken a lot of MOOCs. Not that this is a MOOC, but with a lot of participants, it can be confusing for many people. I'd like you to be able to get the most, and so very simple, 3 weeks. The last week is, the last session is June 23rd. Okay, that's the last day of the session. So week one is teaching online and enabling attitudes to learning. Now, when I say attitudes, I mean teacher attitudes. Okay, so it's about what we do as teachers and how we facilitate learning for our students. So what attitudes do we need? And the attitudes that enable learning. Okay, this is something you'll be thinking about. You'll be getting information anywhere you can. You'll read to get the information. You'll share and discuss the information that you get. And then you'll create an artifact. Now, when I say artifact, it could be anything. It could be a PowerPoint presentation. It could be a video. It could be a movie that you create with real actors, your students. It could be anything. It could be a website that you create, a blog. Okay, so the artifact is something that you create based on your learning, okay, what information you got. And then you'll publish this. You'll publish the artifact, and you'll share it if you're on the Moodle and you want to get credit. You'll share it on the glossary that we created. A glossary is like a dictionary where you add your work. Feel free to ask questions as we go. Woodstock, Illinois. Okay, so we've got people meeting up. Great. No, that's not, no, I love it. I love it. Nancy, no sorries. Okay, feel free to chat. I think that's what it's for. Look, the difference between face-to-face, a face-to-face class, and a very important difference is that online we can talk, we can chat. In other words, I could be talking to you and I could be chatting with someone at the same time. I think that's great because it keeps, it keeps it like a social atmosphere, and it keeps you awake because listening to someone can be so boring. So use the chat. You can't do it in a real classroom because it would disturb everybody from listening, but here you're not disturbing anyone. Okay, so week 1, this is what it looks like on the Moodle since I'm not able to screen share. On the Moodle, some of you have introduced yourself. I believe now it's over 49 people have introduced themselves. And so that's the form, discussion form is in red. Okay, one is introduce yourself. The other one for week 1 is teaching and learning online. And then enabling attitudes to learning is a discussion. And then there's the glossary that I just mentioned, and you'll see it. Basically, just click on everything to see what's there. Don't be afraid to click away. You can't harm anything, and that's the only way you'll get to see what's there. Week 2, setting goals and learning outcomes. Okay, that's the week. This is a great resource. You'll see it on the Moodle. Week 3, active learning and developing artifacts and creating and publishing artifacts. You can use Google Docs, WebQuest, create a WebQuest, websites, use wikis, blogs. In other words, you're free to use whatever you learned in the other MOOCs, if you've taken MOOCs, or from Kurt Bonk. He provided some great content for teachers to use. Learning environments that we'll be using or that you can use. You can also create classes and present and record your classes and provide that as artifacts. So you can create a class like this and that's your artifact. Okay? So keep that in mind. An artifact is anything that you do online with technology. You can use WizIQ, you can use Adobe Connect, you can use Collaborate, WebEx, whatever suits your style. View, Moodle for discussions and connecting online. You can create your own Facebook group, and I encourage you to do that. What's a WebQuest? Lawan, a WebQuest has 6 parts, and if you're interested in it, Google it. Okay, Google a WebQuest, write Nellie Deutsch, and you'll get more information along with the WebQuest. Facebook group, linked group, LinkedIn, Mentor Mob, Mighty Bell, Scoop It. You can use these as your artifacts too, but you can also create groups and invite us to your groups. Sharing. Remember I mentioned sharing. You'll be sharing your work. You can share through Pinterest, Scoop It, Mighty Bell, Mentor Mob. And creative videos I mentioned using YouTube, Vimeo, Blip TV, and the list goes on. Okay, so these are some of the tools that you'll be using. And that's it. Now for the sharing. Okay, that's not the end of that's the end of my conversation. I'm going to pass on the mic to the other facilitators and ask Ludmila if you could screen share. Since I haven't been able to do it, I'm hoping that you will save the day and be able to screen share. I haven't introduced myself. I just said that my name is Nellie Deutsch. But, okay, if you want to know more about me, just Google me. Okay, I think that's the best way to learn about anybody online. That's what I do. Yeah, Gloucester. Sorry, Gloucester. Yes, you can use Gloucester. You can use anything. Sorry for not mentioning Gloucester. Feel free to use anything that's right. Okay, whatever works for you is fine. Okay, that's your artifact, whatever you'll be doing. Okay, so Ludmilla, let me pass on the mic to you because I don't think that... where are you? Ludmilla, did you... okay, there, I got you. Okay, let's hope this works here. And Deothald, see if I can get you as well. And that's it. I see that Judy's not here. Okay, so Ludmilla, did you get the mic? No. All right, let me try again. If not, I'll have to look for you. And that's going to be, thank God there aren't that many people, otherwise I would never be able to. Okay, so let me see if I can find you, Ludmilla. I got you. I got you. Okay, perfect. Okay. Whoops, it's loud. Hello.
Hello, hello. If you hear me, show me smiley faces. Hello. Hello, Kata. Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure, and it's always a pleasure. It's that familiar names. We don't see your faces, but we know you by faces because we've been communicating with you for a long time. So it's really exciting to see so many people excited to learn about best ways of teaching online and best of learning, because Nelly and I and our new collaborators, Daniel and Judy, support the idea that the best way to teach is to learn with the students, to learn about yourself, about your best abilities, skills, and inspire, encourage your learners to learn. And when Nelly was saying that the first week is about learning about the attitudes to learning of teachers, I think it's very important when you start teaching the course to help students to learn about themselves, to learn about their own attitudes, why they're learning, how they're learning, and what is learning itself, what is learning in general. So, and I created a book on our first week with the questions. And if I think I have if I still have the copy, I can copy. Let me see. No, it didn't work.
No, you
have to
add it in the chat box.
Yeah?
Yeah, better in the chat box, Ludmilla.
Oh. You think so?
Yes.
All right. Yes. Find again back. Where is our class? It's right here. Yes. It's good to start today with the question. So, what is learning? Control C. What is learning for you? And this question was also asked. I think it's a central question for many years, many years. And this is, so these are, no, Nelly, I think it's better to have a separate, let me see if I will try.
No, I don't think so. Oops.
It won't work?
No.
It worked.
Oh, okay, great.
What?
Great.
It worked.
Great.
Okay, so these are different definitions of learning, and they belong to different actually decades in the theory of learning and teaching. So what I would suggest, if you look at these definitions of learning, and please choose those that really belong to you and kind of reflect your way of thinking about learning and teaching. Share with us what you think. in the chat. So you can choose one or two, or maybe combine several of them, and say what you think. So what is the best definition out of these 5 reflect your understanding of learning? So what is learning?
Ludmila, that's a huge question. I mean, you know, huge.
But if you look at these definitions, if you look at these 5 definitions, there is at least one that really reflects how you understand learning, and also reflects how you understand teaching. So I don't want to share what I think, but people share some. All right, so you see, you can, it was a great idea. I should have I should have numbered them, and then it would be really helpful. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Which one you prefer? Which one? So yes, okay. So some people already were writing. Some prefer. Some prefer, yes, 4, some prefer 5. So they really reflect understanding how people learn, and what is authentic learning.
Yeah, there was a question of where this appears. Ludmila, can you try to screen share? Go into the website, right, into the Moodle, so that people, because I haven't been able to do that.
I can do. Okay,
great.
I'll try. Yes.
All right.
Perfect.
And can you lower your volume a little bit? Is that possible? Sure. Okay, I'm crossing my finger.
Is it good? Okay, is it better?
A little more, because mine is right down to, I don't know why it's, okay.
All right, I think it says check force icon on the taskbar.
Oh, it's there. Oh, perfect. That means it's there. Great. Okay, so just click
here.
Yeah. Perfect.
All right. Okay.
So,
do you see?
The Maria's got some information. I'd like to quote Dr. Gwen B. Moore. Definition: she's the founder of Northside Learning Laboratory. Learning is improving mentally, physically, emotionally, academically, spiritually, nice, and socially. It's gathering understanding and knowledge, plus the mental actions involves thinking. Very nice. Thank you, Maria. That's great.
Nellie, do you see the screen?
Not yet. Does anyone else? DSL, do you see it? Maybe it's just my system. Sheila says, knowledge makes sense only when it has use to the learner. Right. Learners are us. Right? We're all learners. When it remains only in the cerebral level, it does not. Is DFL, are you able to see? Well, you see. Very good. Excellent. Okay, so everybody sees it except for me. Perfect. Okay, Ludmila, you're good to go. I'm just...
Okay, so yeah, I can share. So this is our course, and so this is the beginning. Do you hear me well?
Oh, very well.
No, I don't see.
No, I hear you. A bit loud, but yes. I don't know why it's so loud.
Open it. Let me see.
Okay, so does everyone see the screen? Let me just, does everyone see? Yes, you do. Great. Okay, so just Mac people don't. Does everyone, even those with a Mac? Any Mac people out there? Oh, now I see it too. Oh, I'm blessed. Okay, I see a black screen.
Oh, you do?
Now I see a black screen.
All right.
Okay, now I see it. Perfect.
Okay, and then you see what I'm doing.
Yes.
Okay. So, and
so maybe
so
you
what I was referring to is...
Can you editing off?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you take editing off in case?
Yeah,
Yeah, because people might not understand what's going.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
let me take it out. All right. So week 1, and so this is where the book was, and the question is about these definitions of learning. And it was a great edition that Maria was speaking. She was speaking about improving learning, but as a result of you learning, you improve yourself. This is the highest level of learning, and it's the metacognitive level of learning when you know why you learn, you know how to learn, and it helps you to improve yourself and the environment around you. So,
Ludmila, can you continue? Excuse me. Don't stop screen sharing.
Yeah.
If you could continue, sorry, I'll tell you where to go and go into the syllabus, into the course through Moodle, and then to Ning, and then to the Mahara. Okay, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, so but we didn't finish the conversation. All right, so what these are our places, and so you wanted syllabus, and syllabus is right here. If you click on this, Google syllabus is right here.
And to the Mahara and to the Ning.
Okay.
So
this is...
Yeah, scroll down. Oh my God. Yes. Oh, you got it.
That's I told you about my situation with Google Drive.
Yes.
Okay,
there's the Mahara.
It still gives me an error.
But
so this is Mahara. Then here you have to join. You have to put your your ID and password. You have to join it, and that's how it looks. And there were discussions already there, very interesting discussions, and then we started. And so it would be nice if you participate in all these discussions. They are really inspiring and mind-opening. And now let's say Ning. Here is Ning. And this is our Ning site where you continue again. You have to join it if you haven't. So, and here there are also discussions. And what wonderful Ning is about is you can add videos, your files that you have to share, videos, photos, links, and your findings, and your anything you have, you can share. So, what else, Nelly, you wanted me to?
No, that's it. I just want
to click on.
Can you do me a favor and go back to the Ning? I'd like to mention something about groups and teaming up.
Here.
Yes, if you could just, Okay. One of the problems with huge courses, and courses will be big. I think that's the future. It's not going to be only open online courses that are going to be huge, but also our university, colleges, high school courses are going to have a lot of students. So in order to, we have to find ways to group our students. One of the ways that has worked for me is grouping through birth order. So Ludmila, if you could go to, there are 4 groups according to birth order. And
I think you...
And you're invited if you can go.
I think you did it on Mahara, Nelly.
What?
It's on Mahara, I think.
Oh, it's in both.
Both groups are on.
No, it's in both. Let's start with,
Okay.
yes, we'll go through the Ning. First of all, in the Ning, because it's up to, it's up to you whether you want to be on the Mahara. Mahara is an e-portfolio, actually. You can create e-portfolios there, or whether you want it on the Ning. So on the Ning, if you go into groups, you'll see that there are, Ludmilla, all groups. If you go into all groups on the left, do you see them?
Go, here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if
all groups.
Exactly. So, no, I think it's not your, yes, exactly. So there's a group for middleborn. Middleborn is anyone who's not firstborn or the oldest. Ludmilla? So there's middleborn, there is the youngest, only child, and firstborn. Okay? If you could join that, it'll be a way to work together on the Ning. On the Mahara, there are also 4 groups that you can join according to your birth order. Now, this means that you can't join more than one group. You can only join one group. Okay, so this is something that you're able to do after this webinar. Okay, Ludmilla, I think we can go back to class unless, if that's okay. I think we've covered everything. Everything is on the syllabus, so I think that's. You can also create groups. Okay. By the way, participants can create groups on the Ning and in the Mahara. You can create your own groups according to whatever works for you, and it's open in the sense that you can do whatever you want. As I said, you can create groups for yourself. And I highly encourage it because working in groups is very, very enriching in every sense. It's a great way to learn, whether you're talking about mental, physical, spiritual, and so on. Okay, so we're back in class. Perfect. Okay, so thank you.
Okay. Yeah, and I also wanted to. Yes.
Can you bring us back? Click on.
There's a.
Yes. Theophald?
There's a question that Kata is asking. I think it's worth discussing. She's asking.
Kata is a he. Sorry.
Is there a benefit of taking the course on several platforms? So this is a good question because I started my online learning as a learner on one platform. And then I took a course last year with George Siemens, and I discovered that being online is really no specific place, and playing around with it from a teacher's perspective can be very interesting because we get to know how building relationship works in different environments. I think that's a benefit for us who are taking these courses because we're all teachers. So I think my answer to Kata would be yes, it is a benefit.
Thank you, Dethel. I'd like to add that it can be very confusing, but that's the value of, as you mentioned, Dethel, of working online, because being able to use all these environments and giving students the freedom. We talked about enabling attitudes, freedom, and freedom is not something that everyone wants, or is able to use because it's scary. It's scary out there. It's a huge world. And to be able to travel like that and go from one environment to another is pretty scary when, come to think of it. So this is something that you might want to explore and see how it feels. Nancy says, Nancy, would you like the mic? Nancy says giving, it disappeared. Nancy, can I give you the mic if I can find you? You mentioned something about giving choices. Yeah, choices is great, but it can also be scary for many of us, whether students or, people. Nancy, can you raise your...
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead. I'm
well,
trying to find Nancy.
yes, while you're looking for Nancy, I would like to raise an issue of chaos. Yes, for people who grew up in the controlled environment, it looks like a chaos. But I think it's really a characteristic of new environment in which now our new learners, new generation of digital learners are growing up. And in general, when you think about, you are not always organized in your life. You have friends, you have your colleagues, you have family, you have work, and sometimes it creates chaos, and you are learning how to juggle all these things and choose priorities. The same about learning environment when you create in today's world with all these technologies, and that's why we are using all these tools to show that it's you who is learning. It's about you. And Nellie started a group also on Facebook, and there was a question about what is learning and what active learning. Are you active learning? And what is about active learning? And some students, of course, one of my best students responded, and she immediately said that for me, learning is being responsible. But how to bring students to that level, to become responsible for their own learning and for their own search for themselves and for the ways how to learn. So Nancy is ready. So I just wanted to add, but don't be discouraged about the chaos. Find yourself in the chaos of life and the chaos of resources. That's what our future world is about, with all these digital devices and media. And students, you are not, as a teacher, we stop being the first and the only source of information. Yeah, kids can get information, kids or learners that you are dealing with, they find information all over. And our role, I think, we are becoming coaches and becoming facilitators, people who create conditions for students learning how to select what is valid, what is reliable, what is real, and to teach them, to help them find the ways how to learn and how to better themselves. I think that will be eternal for being teachers.
I think Kata mentioned...
Nancy, you are on.
Kata mentioned a very...
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
The reason why I said what I said, which is that it's important to let students choose their own method of completing an assignment, is that we have arts courses, and we have an art faculty member who's not very computer savvy and came up with a very sort of old-fashioned kind of clunky way to add assignments to the classroom, and we've been fielding calls from the students saying, but I've got this other thing and it would work better, and can I use it? So we're now trying to teach some of the faculty how to be unafraid of technology they don't know, and to let the students kind of take the lead there. So that was why I made that comment.
Excellent. That's the idea. Very good. I'm so happy. The minute we enable students and give them options, it just might make this world, a better place. Options are so important, and choices. Kata mentioned emotions and feelings. Yes, feelings are so much part of of learning, and I think that's also an important aspect. We go by feelings, whether we like it or not. Thank you, Nancy. Anyone else would like to share and maybe use their webcam so we can see them and hear them? Yeah, well, that's the thing about getting bored. That's why I mentioned the chat box. If I didn't use the chat box during other people's presentations, I would get bored, definitely. Oh, Judy, you're here. Okay, Judy, I'm trying to, thank you, Judy, get Judy in here so we can hear from her. Deofeld, can you perhaps share a little bit about who you are, if, so that people realize how many languages, for example, that you speak and teach?
Well, I just remembered how I hated my first years of learning English. I never used to do homework. I hated the method. I was born in Germany, and I went to high school there and started my professional life there. And then I met someone, as it happens, and this person invited me to live with him. And when I asked him, well, where shall we live? He said, I don't know. And this answer seemed quite scary to me at the time, but we have lived in 6 different countries. I now live in Mexico City. I also live in Quebec City, and I consider myself someone who is a digital immigrant. So to me, the internet is a place to live. I mean, virtually, because this week I'm here in Mexico. Next week I'm going to join you from Quebec City, and it doesn't make a difference to you. You see, I'm here, I'm interacting, and I'm working, and there is no change with my geographical location. That's why I'm so passionate about teaching on the internet, because I really understand what a privilege it is to be with you this morning and speaking to you and being in communication with you wherever you are on the planet. As long as you have internet access, I can learn with you. And I think that's just awesome.
Digital, you are a global citizen. You are a citizen of the world. You are not digital immigrant, because the digital immigrant, there is a term that refers to people, to teachers who are immigrants to digital devices, as Mark Prensky called them. So you are not an immigrant. You are a citizen of the world with your abilities to use the internet and connect with the world, with teachers, with learners.
I understand, Ludmila. Yeah, I'm also very aware, and now I've just recently finished my master's degree in linguistics. I'm now up to training teachers in Latin America and in Canada about using this. And I acknowledge everyone who is here with me today that we know how to use this technology. There are so many people out there who don't. And some people share that it is scary to start. And yes, I remember how I was scared in the beginning. I had a lot of moments where I hated my computer. I hated the machine because it just wouldn't work. And I didn't understand it. So I think this is who we are as a community. We are leaders in this. No?
Yeah. Yes, I know. Believe me, I teach teaching with technology, and my students hate it. They want to meet in person to learn about online, you know. And so I know how sometimes students start with hatred, but then when they are done, they would say, my goodness, what I was missing. I'm so happy to know all these tools and use them in the future. Judy is ready to speak.
Hi.
Hi, Judy.
My name. Hi, Nellie. Hi, Ludmila. Hi, Details. I got into online learning quite by accident by doing research when I was doing my second master's degree in educational technology, and I completed that within a 10-month period, and I just got that master's degree last June, and it was amazing. And during that time, I landed onto Moodle and researched some more and found IP for All and Nellie, and I went through all of Nellie's classes, and now here I am, and I think this is wonderful. And because of my ability to go forth and dig and discover on my own and find out things, I finally found a doctoral program in the field that I want to be in, which is instructional technology and design. And I'm doing that through Kaiser University online. My master's degree from 2011, that was done online through Dubai University, Keller Graduate School of Management. And I just love this online learning. I wish this was available years ago. I'm not going to tell you how many, but I just, because I excelled so well in this medium. I did not excel well in the normal classroom as well as I'm doing in the online medium. But I still think there is blended learning needs to occur, because you need to be able to make connections with the people that you're learning with. And there's also subjects that do need that extra hands-on that you don't get, in the online environment, that you do need from that facilitator, whether it be an online facilitator or in the classroom facilitator. And I think, this is where we're going towards, we're going towards that blended learning. Flipping the classroom is what we're calling it in the United States, and combining the learning between the regular classroom lecture type things that the teacher's doing and sending the children home, and doing some web quests at home, and bringing what they've learned at home and bring that into a classroom discussion. So it works well with both ways. You just have to find the way which best suits you as a facilitator, and let your students, help you learn the new technology. And I think Nancy was great at saying that, because the students know more than we do, some of us, because we weren't born into the internet world. It just came. It was there, and these kids are born into it. They have the technology, and sometimes we have to ask them, "Hey, can you show me how to do this?" And that's great, because that's collaboration, and they're helping you, and you're helping them, and then it works. They understand. They see that you're able to speak their language, and learning occurs. Everybody gets engaged. They think it's great when the teacher asks, "Well, how do you show me how to do this?" And they like being engaged. And that's where we're going.
Thank you, Judy. Someone mentioned, I believe Francisca or Francis mentioned the fact that she's using Moodle with her students face to face. I guess she's using a blended format. And she said that she's encouraging her students to learn at home. Yes, Francisca, to learn at home. But where else is learning? Is this something new? Can we learn at school, really? Or, what do we do at school? Is it really about learning? And isn't learning only at home? The flipped classroom is a great way to go. But where is learning? Where do people learn? If it's 24/7, they learn at night while they're sleeping. But, I think we spend more time with it at home or on the internet than actually in the physical classroom in front of a teacher. Nilda? I didn't get what Nilda mentioned. Sorry, Nilda, do you have a microphone? Maybe we can hear what Nilda. Oh, let me see if I can get Nilda. And Nancy's right, and so is Diethold about the internet. I wish it was around when I was in school, because then I wouldn't have had to travel to, all over campuses trying to find the right library or books, or, it was so hard to get information in those days. I can't find Nilda. All right, so maybe someone can repeat what Nilda said. Learning online, what to do offline. Offline, be with your family, I guess. I talked with a 93-year-old lady about her computer use and relationship with her family. She said the most important thing was when she learned from others. Yes, at 93, we should listen to, yes, she has been using the computer for 13 years and she's 93. That's wonderful. That's great, Jean. Wonderful. I'm not going to tell you about my father, who's an expert. I think he knows more than I do. about the internet and about technology. But yes, that's amazing. Okay, we've reached the end of the presentation as such, and now it's time for you to work. And one of the things that my administration told me was, Nellie, you're not doing your job. I said, what do you mean I'm not doing my job? Well, the students are doing all the work, and you're sitting around or you're walking around. They said, well, you get paid for speaking. This paid for speaking myth. So as facilitators, we're not going to talk too much because it's up to you. You're going to be doing the work. So as I said, this is not about sharing content. This is not about telling you what to do. It's about facilitating. So, okay, time to start working. So just add in the chat box, what do you...
Active learning.
Exactly. Active learning is teaching. So it's about your teaching. So what's the first thing that you're going to do? Okay? The first thing, just add it in the chat box. Once this class ends, what are you going to do? Where are you going?
Well, all administration is the same, Nellie. I have the same problem with.
They want us to get our.
Yeah, they want us lecture. They want us, but I think we are really do this disservice to our students if we don't make them think. We don't make them active. They are own learners of themselves, learners of their own profession. Yeah.
Elizabeth is going to prepare dinner.
Too much technology in the classroom, they say.
Yes. Sounds familiar. Yes, we're guilty. All right, so you've got to...
Coming from Russia, where I didn't have any technology, I came to the United States and I learned all this technology to help me to reach my students, and I'm now ahead of everybody at my division because of technology.
All right, so Eleanor... All right, so Eleanor mentioned that she's going to spend some time reading. Now, I want to help with the focus. I suggest you join the Moodle. Okay, for a start, can someone add the link? Go to the Moodle, join the class, and start from there. Once you feel comfortable, go back to the syllabus, and you can join the Mahara and the Ning and follow from there. But take it one step at a time. Multitasking is great, but you can't focus if you multitask. So one thing at a time. You don't want to be overwhelmed, even though it's good for you. But you'll need a lot.
There was a question. Yeah, there was a question how to make this learning relevant. It's up to you. So you learn from your experience, from other people, and you apply to what your field is. And you will learn yourself how you learned and how you were experiencing this environment and these resources and these tools that you will be provided with, and then see what fits your own style, what fits your own philosophy of teaching and learning. So that's how you make it relevant.
Ludmila or DFL, can you add the link to the Moodle? Does anyone have the link available for the Moodle so that people can go and join?
Judy just did.
Okay, perfect.
I think Judy did.
All right, so look, we've got half a minute. What I suggest you do, first of all, thank you everyone for joining. And thank you to the co-facilitators. Copy the chat. Okay, do you see copy chat before you go? You're not going to go empty-handed. Okay, you can take the chat with you. In other words, copy the chat, and then you can paste it anywhere on a Word document, create a Google Docs, put it in an email, send yourself an email, and paste the chat in the email to yourself. I mean,
Evernote.
Whatever you use, whatever you want to use. Thank you, Steve. Great to see you. All right. Bye for now. Okay, that's the end of the class. It was